call a function by passing four types. Welcome to Introduction to Python, and in this lecture I am going to discuss about the function arguments. So basically in Python we have four kinds of arguments. That means we can call a function by passing four types of arguments. So basically first one is called required oppositional argument, second one is called keyword arguments, then we will see default arguments, and then interesting one is the variable length arguments. So first one is the required oppositional argument. It is the most simplest one. In this case we have to call a function by passing the same number of parameters which is inside the function body while defining the function. So their position must be same. That means the number of parameters would be same, and in case of it has a very specific data type, we are working on a specific data type, so we have to pass in that particular order also. So in this case I have defined a function which name is fun, and it is taking three arguments a, b and c. To call this function we use the same function name, and we will pass the same number of arguments. That means three arguments are used while defining this function. So for calling this function we will pass exactly three arguments. So these arguments will be passed in their sequence. That means first argument will be passed to the first parameter, and second argument will pass here, and third argument will pass to the third parameter, and then we can use them inside the function. In this case I have just printed these three variables. So this is the most simplest one, and that's why it is called required oppositional arguments, because we have to pass the same number of parameters for calling the function. Next one is the keyword argument. In this case we pass the arguments by using the keywords. So these are the different keywords which we have discussed for the Python. So these are not the reserved words. So while calling the function, if you are writing something like this, you are writing variable name and assigning some object to it while calling a function, so this name will become the keyword. So basically this keyword and the function parameters name must be same, and if they are same then this type of calling is called keyword argument. So basically we are calling the function using the keyword argument. So in this case we have used three keywords x, y and z. So we are having three variables x, y and z here, and the same variable are used, or same variable name are used here for calling the function. So advantage of this is that we should not call the function, or we have not to call the function in the same order as it has been defined. So we can change the order of parameters. So if you write y equals to hello first, then z, then x at the last, so they will assign to their respective value. So if I am talking about the first calling of the function, so this variable x will copied here. That means this object will refer here, and this object will refer to this parameter, and z will refer to this object. But for the second function calling, in this case when I am writing y equals to hello, so this will go to this y, and z will go to the z part, and x will go to the x part. So advantage of this is that while calling a function which takes lots of arguments or lots of parameter, you do not have to remember in which order they are occur. So this is beneficial if you do not want to remember in which order we have written our function parameters. Next one is the default argument. It helps a function calling, and if we do not provide any value for calling that particular function, so the default value is used if we do not provide any value, and if we provide any value while calling that particular function, so this value will be used. So let's take our example. In this case, I have written this function fun, which has three parameters, which has default value set to 0. And when we call this function fun, so this function can be called in multiple ways. In first way, I am passing the three value, as this function has three number of parameters. So at max I can pass it the three parameters. So this first value will be passed to this variable x, and this this 200 will be passed as an object reference to this y, and this 300 will be passed to this variable z. That means this variable x, y and z will have values 100, 200 and 300. In second case, or when we call the function with this way, this is a valid statement, and when we call the function like this, so this first value, that means 100, will pass to this variable x, and 200 will be passed to variable y, and if we do not provide the value for z, so default value of z will be used as a 0. So the answer of this statement will be 100, 200 and 0. And for the first one, we have the answer 100, 200 and 300. And if I call by just passing single value, so this single value will be passed to this variable x, and the rest two parameter will take their default values. So the answer will be in this case 100, 0 and 0. And if we call this function by passing 0 number of arguments, so all these three parameter will take their default values. So in this case the answer will be 0, 0 and 0. So in first case we will get answer 100, 200 and 300, and in second case we will get answer 100, 200 and 0, and for the third case you will get answer 100, 0 and 0, and for the final you will get answer 0, 0 and 0. So this first value is for x, and the second value is for y, and the third value is for z. So this is the advantage of the default argument. That means if sometimes you forget to pass a value to a function, so the default value can be used, and if you provide the value, so the default value will be overwritten. Last one is the variable length argument, and it is represented by asterisk before the variable name. So in this case we can pass or call a function by passing any number of arguments. Basically it could be 0 arguments, 1, 2, 3, it is up to you. So that's why its name is variable length argument. So let's see an example first. So the basic syntax of the variable length argument is like this. First we have to write def keyword for defining the function, then function name, and inside this function, if your function takes any formal arguments, that means default argument or required argument or keyword argument, so we have to write here first. After that we can write our variable length argument. So variable length argument is represented by placing a asterisk symbol before the variable name. So basically it is a tuple which can accommodate any number of parameters ranging from 0 to any number. After that we can provide any statement after providing the indentation, and then return statement if it is required. So let's see an example of variable length argument. So in this case I have just taken the variable length argument a. So to make this variable the variable length argument, I have used star just before this variable name. So now this variable a has become the variable length argument. So we are printing this variable. So to call that particular function, we can pass any number of argument. That means we can pass zero value minimum, and maximum we can pass any number of values. So in this case, I have passed three values, 10, 20 and 30. So basically these three values will be passed as a tuple to this variable a, that because this variable a is basically a tuple. So this will print this values 10, 20 and 30. We can call this function by passing only two values or zero values. So in this particular case, if you pass the function just two values, so these two values will be accommodated in this variable a, that means this tuple which is of variable length argument. So it is now having two variables, and in this case it is now having one single variable. So this is basically a tuple of single element, and if we do not pass any values, so it will return the empty tuple. So variable length arguments, the advantage that we can pass any number of arguments, so it is an advantage. So in case if we do not know how many arguments our function will need in future, so we can write this kind of syntax. The variable length argument has one more uh, addition, that means it has a variable length keyword argument also. So this is represented by placing one more star, that means if we write double asterisk before a variable name, so this variable will become the variable length keyword argument. That means now this variable a will accept any number of keyword arguments, and basically this variable is now a dictionary. Earlier it was a tuple in case of variable length argument, but in case of variable length keyword argument it is a dictionary. So here variable a is a dictionary, and we know a dictionary has a function items which returns the key and value as a pair. So in this case I have used a iterable for loop for iterating over the elements, or that means key and value part of the this dictionary a, and then I have printed their key and values respectively. So if I call this function by passing just three keyword arguments, in this case I have used x equals to 10 first keyword, second keyword is this, and this is the third keyword. So these three keyword will be treated as a dictionary. So this will be like x colon 10, then y colon 20, and finally we have z colon 30. So this is a dictionary which is pointed by this variable a. And if I talk about a dot items, so it has items this one and this one, this one and this one, and this one and this one. That means the I will represent the key part and j will represent the value part. So if I will iterate over the elements of this dictionary, so you will get answer x10, y20 and z30. So let's have an example in which there is all the arguments. So in this case I have taken a function fun. This is the first argument. We can say it is a required argument or positional argument. The second one is the default argument. This one is the variable length argument, and this one we will use as a keyword argument while calling this function, and this is a variable length keyword argument. So I am calling this function by passing values. First I am writing p, so this p will be accommodated by this variable a because it is a positional argument or required argument. So this p will be this variable p or object p will be referred by this variable a also. Similarly, the value of q, which I have used 200. If I have not provided, the value will be used as a 0 as a default. So this value will be used as a 200 because we have provided the value. So this default value 0 will be overwritten by this value 200. And after that, I have passed some objects or values, that means 4 objects, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these all objects will be accommodated here in this variable length argument, because as soon as it reaches to this point, it is a keyword argument. So this will matched with this variable name or parameter name. So this will be accommodated here. And finally, after this, all these three are the keyword arguments. So these three will be accommodated in this variable length keyword argument. So in this case, this a is a required argument, b is a default argument, c is a variable length argument, and d is a keyword argument, and finally this e is a variable length keyword argument. So if I print these all 4 variable or 5 variables, so I will get answer 100 because p has a value 100, q has a value 200, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be assigned to this variable c. That means it is a tuple of variable length, that means 4 elements. Then this 999 will be assigned to this keyword d, and then finally these all 3 keywords will assign to this variable e, that is a dictionary. So this is the answer. So this is all about the function or